Oh, dude, did you fuck this bread? You fucked the shit out of this bread. You don't fuck bread, God.
I had me a vision. There wasn't any television. But looking into the light.
How's it going, everybody? This is Shaun.
And it's Sarah.
And welcome to my Future Husband Facebook podcast. Whatever and whatever.
Oh, stop.
I can't remember the name of the number. The name of the number. Can't remember it.
No, you need to remember it.
I don't know it.
Remember me.
Remember. I'm going to say maybe 25.
Probably.
Episode 25. We'll say for the sake of conversation. This is episode 25.
I'm a little more at ease now because we have a number to it.
It could be 24. Somewhere in there.
Oh, God.
Somewhere.
What?
Quarter of 100.
You asked me if I'm ready tonally, and you're like, oh, I don't even know factually what I'm going into.
Ballpark. Ballpark.
It's fine. There's like 6 people listen to this.
Oh, I would say add maybe 200 people to that. Collectively.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Download-wise, we actually do pretty well.
What about,
we do pretty well download-wise.
What about Watchmen and stuff?
We are probably rounding, like, download and YouTube combined. Probably like 400 to 500.
So I should probably write another essay soon.
You should, actually.
Oh, goddamn it.
If anybody would like to read Sarah, her written word, the writ word.
Wrote.
And read
the
her...
wrote and the writ.
Read her wax poetic about the possible connection between Watchmen and the idea of romanticism. You should go ahead and give this a like. You should leave a comment, and you should tell us. If not, Sarah's going to spiral into a massive depression as she drinks booze out of a mason jar and decides what to do with her life.
No, I'm not, because it's the first I can do that in a long time.
Yeah, this is the first full day off Sarah's had in about 13 days or so. And so we're like, hey!
Podcast and baseball.
Yeah, when I say we, I mean me. But it is the eternal we because we are married. And legally bonded to one another. And forced to put up with one another.
It's cool,
by choice. It's by choice.
You got Keanu Reeves hair right now, so it's fine.
I do. Whoa. Whoa, look at all these goods. You know what would have been great? If we had watched Cloud Atlas, that would be a great segue. But we did not watch Cloud Atlas. We will watch Cloud Atlas probably for the next episode. But we do have some stuff to talk about, actually. Some momentous movies,
like 3
and
things, but that 3
shows.
Things that will fill up a lot of time.
Yeah. So what we usually do with the show is we usually, like, what have we been watching in terms of streaming and television shows? We usually head there first. That's usually our first bastion of thought.
What's our run to?
At first, it's usually what's been streaming.
No, I understand the format of...
Stream Dreams.
I understand the own format of our own show, yes.
Well, our loose format, but yes.
No. There's a format, though.
There's a logic to this, I swear to God. Just hang with me, believe me.
It's a chaotic mess. Anyway,
people on the streets.
Funniest thing. As of this morning, I was reminded of something I love very much.
I was actually going to mention that as well.
Oh, God. So, we woke up very early because our dogs were startled.
Yeah.
As normal. But more so than ever because our neighbors were assholes and don't control their dogs.
So we were stirred awake by...
I'm sorry, I'm so Ernst.
Stirred awake by life. And I couldn't fall back to sleep right away.
Yeah.
And we have something called Hulu Plus, which is a streaming service. And they have recently, very recently, have basically been uploading all of your classic favorite Adult Swim shows.
Classic favorite? Like C-Lab on there? Like
yeah,
season
C-Lab's,
1?
No, C-Lab's on there. The entire run of Aqua Teen is on there. The entire run of C-Lab is on there. Squidbillies is on there. The only thing, I haven't checked, so don't quote me on this. I'm not sure if Delocated is on there, which it should be, because it is one of the best things Adult Swim has ever put their money behind.
And I will tell you yes on that, because I had seen like 3 episodes, and then we got together, and I saw everything, and I was like, this is beautiful.
No, it's
so good.
Next to Frisky Dingo. which is the creator of Archer,
Yeah.
his previous show. I would say Delocate is my favorite. Second favorite, Frisky Dingo. Third favorite, which is what we watched this morning, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Watching some of the older seasons, we started around, I put season 4 on. Because I had a revelation. I was like, holy shit, you know what? Like,
You didn't make past season 3.
well, with all those shows, like, I was buying seasons and not watching them on TV. So, like, whatever. And I think the last season I bought for Aqua Teen was season 3, and then I bought the movie, and then I never really bought much of anything else. So they were all new to me, and so we were
Can I
watching.
ask you a
Aqua
question?
Teen.
Did you see the movie in the theaters?
No, I didn't. I couldn't actually. I didn't get a chance.
It was
I ended up buying the
fucking
movie.
great.
I bought the movie. There was no
that
local
was-
theaters playing it.
That
where I
was one thing I midnight premiered.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was fucking fun.
No, it's great. I mean, great
I
relative.
like your booty, but I'm not gay. I'm not gay.
Nude love.
No. Insanoflex a lot funnier.
Well, that's the whole.
Shake is like
Oh, give me
shake
a
off to the
break.
side. No.
Give me a
okay.
break,
Who
yo.
is your favorite Aqua Teen character?
It's gonna be Shaker Meatwad, for sure.
What about the Moon Knights?
Or are you
No,
talking about main
man.
cast?
No, I said character.
Characters
I
in
said
general?
character.
Oh my god, well, the first...
The Mooninites are great though, because like,
This is the
oh,
first
you cannot
episode?
take a left turn.
It's in the first season, like the fly guy,
Yeah,
the mosquito man or whatever, he's attracted to their house because of the light.
yeah,
That's pretty great. Danzig, also a character.
yeah. I know, right? But also,
The ghost of Kristen's past, present, future.
Sure,
Whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
but also the Moon Knights. He'll also reoccur.
You have the Mooninites.
I cannot make a left turn on the moon.
Then you have the German.
Or like the episode we
guys.
saw, one of the episodes we saw today, they're like, I never knew my father, so that's why I turned to stealing, but all I do is stealing. You're like, what?
No, it's actually, I was shocked by how well it held up. Like, I was still, like, laughing and giggling. I didn't expect that. Because, like,
No, you were, because you were like half asleep.
I was half
No,
asleep,
because you're
giggling.
trying to fall back asleep, because that's what we do, is like, okay, well, like something comforting, fall back asleep, we understand this. But both of us are like, like, funny. I mean, like a dick rocket, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, it like...
The dicks aren't sticking together!
I mean, because just a lot of, like, Adult Swim stuff is very non sequitur. It's very, like,
Yeah.
idiosyncratic to itself. It's very, like, the quality is relative to, like, if you like these things or not. Like, if you like kind of off-the-wall, bizarre, random humor. I think Aqua Teen actually held up pretty well, though. Like, it... Like you were saying, like, I was half asleep. And I was still able to, like, kind of jive with the show for a few hours this morning. So, it was cool. Like, if you have Hulu Plus, I definitely go down that Adult Swim path.
I will admit, though, I never saw anything once it was not Aqua Teen anymore. So what did it become?
Oh my god. I know, yeah, when the show changed.
Yeah,
It became like a 70s cop show or whatever for a while.
which is
Starsky
something...
and Hutch-esque thing.
But there's also... Can I say something, to be fair? On streaming services, there's that cop show also we need to watch, like a retro comedy cop show that we queued.
Danger 5?
Yeah, Danger 5. I think we need to watch that soon.
Yeah, no, I'm totally willing to
No,
check
because
that out.
I think I queued that.
That's on Netflix, yeah.
I queued that.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I think we need to watch that soon. I just...
Yeah, because
out of curiosity, like...
Well, the cover photo looks a lot like it's a serious show, but then if you actually look at the show, it's a comedy show. It looks like a serious show from, like, say, like 1987.
Best
Looks
year
like
ever.
It's almost like it almost has like a very similar like.
Cagney and Lacey.
No, well, the cover looks like something like Maniac Cop or something.
Yeah,
like, something like that. So, but yeah, to actually, and it's kind of rejuvenated my interest in that stuff because, well, like I have a friend who's a big Rick and Morty fan. I'd always wanted to check out Rick and Morty. And then it showed up on Hulu, and I really liked it. Like,
it was
I thought
alright.
it was great.
It was okay.
You thought it was just okay? Is it too conventional?
It was funny, but it rambled. And I'm usually someone that's like in a ramble, I'm fine. But to me, it was just like, oh, grandson, yeah, like it was just like it was really like.
I think it's.
It was like, left turn, right turn, left turn, and you knew it.
I think if you like, no,
No, do you understand?
No,
It's
what I'm
like
saying is like if you marathon it, like we did, like I think some things like tropes of the show become like very redundant and very like too obvious.
that's what I just meant. Was like left turn, right turn. Like I'm gonna go here and then but it's still funny, right? Ho.
Yeah, well, because that show, even though it does have like more of a like a clear plot structure, it does rely on non sequiturs a lot. Like
there's not even like a subtle amount of development to like push it.
what do you mean? Extrapolate.
No, because there's a family structure. Obviously, there's a family understanding. Like most, like most animated like cartoon family series from like dated way back.
Yeah.
But for that one, it's like you get bits and pieces, but it's not extrapolated enough to where you like get like I don't want to say invested, but like hooked on to where it's funny. You know what I'm saying? Like what it is it's like little like taglines. You're like oh ho ho ho, and then it's kind of because like the granddad's like a drunk granddad.
Well,
honestly, and you know that, and you're supposed to suspend that, but at the end of the day,
I would say
because then you watch 3 episodes later and you're seeing some of the same like kind of patterns.
I would say like
nothing develops.
I would say it's an extension of something like Family Guy.
Yeah.
More than an extension of say something like
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Which can we not talk about the last like 10 years?
Because The Simpsons, good or bad, has always been more plot based, and it's like how these characters deal with the plot, right? Family Guy is character before plot.
Yeah.
Much like shows I actually enjoy, much like say like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it is very much like character before plot.
Yeah.
And then I would say Rick and Morty is like an extension of the Family Guy in the sense that it is character before plot. But like it kind of meets it halfway a little bit. But the problem is I don't know if all those plots are like actually interesting enough to really hold your attention. So if like the non sequitur humor doesn't get you, then that plot is also not going to hold your attention. There was one episode that I like sticks out to me the most that I thought was a great episode all around, which was the one, and I don't know the name of the episode, but the one where the dogs take over. And like have their own like society. Like, and they get super smart. Like that one to me, like
no, they didn't get super smart. They finally had a voice.
Oh, both, yeah, and that was the point, yeah. But they also, spoiler alert, they also decided, like, which was hilarious, the benevolent dogs decided it was better if they, like, go to their own planet or dimension and figure things out themselves rather than interfere with human life.
Who are fucking dumb.
Yeah. So it was, I think that show is more hit than miss myself. Like,
no, I just said
I'm really interested in like continuing to watch the show because there's a lot of really funny stuff in there.
Which is funny because something like Adventure Time, which is not hit or miss.
Adventure Time is hugely hit or miss.
Oh, fuck you.
And Adventure Time is non sequitur humor. It is a children's show. Well, it's disguised as a children's show made for adults. Like that.
And it's fun because it's an adventure.
But for me, the problem I have with that, like philosophically, is that like it's parading itself as something that it's not. Like, why not just be an Adult Swim show and just go for it rather than kind of always like this half in, half out.
I'm just going to do this right now and people can't see it. But what am I doing?
Universal sign for money.
Funding.
Oh, for sure. And it kind of carries in the same tradition of like the Nickelodeon shows from the early 90s, like Our Real Monsters or Rocko's Modern Life.
No, it was funny.
Stimpy.
I was allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy and Rocko's Modern Life, but I was not allowed to watch Our Real Monsters.
Which is weird because that is the least offensive, at least adult show.
Rocko worked for fucking sex, like, hotline. Like, what? I was allowed to watch that.
I don't know. You have a weird family. I don't know what to tell you. You were not allowed to watch Power Rangers.
I know!
Which makes no goddamn sense.
But I could watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Also, makes no goddamn sense.
Anyway, on our trajectory of 3...
You do your own segue. Don't look at me. She just pregnant pause with Sarah looking to me to segue for her.
No, because we just started talking about nothing had anything to do with our, like, 3.
With our 3.
Our 2 Mads and our lady.
Okay, fair enough. But what's the big things that have come out recently, or semi-recently? We do watch television shows, so this is the part of the show we're going to watch.
At Hack Night, which is
my
just...
God. At midnight is...
No, at Hack Night. Which, please tag that. If we got 200 followers, you please tag at Hack Night, but then also tag at midnight. It'll pick up and it'll be on the show, and we'll all like...
it should be at midnight, like, so, to the show.
Yeah.
Hashtag Hack Night, at Hack Night. Small side tangent.
That was a joke.
Small side tangent for at midnight. Chris Hardwick's,
Chris Harddick. The soapbox philosopher of the geeks.
Yeah, that's part of the problem with Chris Hardwick. The ubiquitous nature of nerddom, he is part of the problem. It's been so diluted, which is actually, we have a couple, like, the 2 movies we're going to talk about today are really great examples that are, like, anti-nerdist.
Yeah.
They're not, like, for the nerdist crowd. Well, one is on a superficial level, and one definitely isn't.
And one is we can, like, jump from a cliff and clip them down, shove them in the sand.
Yeah. But that... it's kind of... It's ruined a lot of stuff because it's mainstreamed it, and when you mainstream things, it becomes about superficial stuff.
Yeah.
It becomes about surface level. That's why, like, we don't have very many, like, smart science fiction. I think there's kind of a term. We are actually kind of living in a, like, modest budget action movie, like, paradise right now. Like, between, like, stuff like The Raid that's getting US play.
Where are you going? Like, sorry.
No, I'm just talking about the nature of the nerdist.
So, budget, like, hilarity, budget commentary, budget, like, wax poetic. That's how I feel about him. It's, like, very, like, nerdist is, like, very, like, budget, but also, like, to a point it, like, gathers, like...
I think he was a sincere man that has become very cynical because he is the head of a corporation, and that's fine. And I'm happy for him as a person.
No,
like,
I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Successful because, you know, like, there is a sincerity behind stuff, but he has no teeth. He has no real opinion. He is a person that is like, I will be a commercial for you.
No, it's that, but it's also like. He even makes a joke about, like, his own, like, shows that he's putting out there and producing and talking about, and it's supposed to be, like, open, honest dialogue and, like, an understanding for, like...
that's not true at all.
He makes jokes about, but, like, I would just talk about, like, you know, like, after Walking Dead, and, like, after this, and, like, but I didn't have an after, like Mad Men show, but then, I have an after midnight, you know.
No, because that's a joke. He's self-aware.
It's a joke, but it's, to a point, it's not,
well, first of all, Talking Dead is terrible. Talking Bad, or whatever the fuck was the Breaking Bad show?
No, it was awful.
Was terrible, because they don't offer anything other than just, like, a commercial for the next episode, or just
and then when they had people that
say how, because there's no time for these people to digest what they've just watched, and so there's no interesting criticism. Most interesting criticism ever in an episode of Talking Dead was Marilyn Manson.
I was just gonna say that. I was saying, but
and
then
people
it got
thought it was fucking weird because he tried to take it too deep, like it.
Yeah, I got the most flack, and that was, like, weird. This is actually, like, it was challenging.
Yeah, it would cause you to have a conversation, whether you agreed with that person or not.
If in the show's title it says talking, I'm sorry, I'm being dumb and... Like,
no, but, like, it's the show to be like, wasn't that fucking cool? I wonder what's gonna happen next. How did you do that zombie makeup? Like, that's what that show is. In a nutshell.
Yeah, it's not even that sometimes. It's like, well, that one, like, shot from a corner, it's, like, very insignificant, and then they just pander on to, like, other, like, I'm in the South, so I can say thanks.
No, but it's very superfluous. Like, it's not necessary, it's not needed, but people watch it, so what are you gonna do? Just like people watch Mad Men, AMC's other show.
That did not give Chris Hardwick a talk show. Thank fucking God.
That would have been... No, because...
Can I say something? Regardless of what I'm getting ready to say about the ending, for years of my life, I invested in that show because I fucking loved it.
Yes, contextualize your history with Mad Men. Why...
Okay, so my history of Mad Men actually starts with my roommate, Cynthia, which, hey, Cynthia, I love you still. No, she's awesome. She started as an advertising, major, and I had never really watched Mad Men, and she's like, hey, there's a show about, ad agencies back in the day, and you'd like it. It's, dynamic and fun. And that was into season 3. And I, literally, she'd let me borrow them, laid on the couch, and I watched them for, 4 days straight. When I got home, when I had days off, that's all I did. And I loved it. Because it was a very good show, personably, as opposed to fucking Sopranos. to me.
And you're mentioning Sopranos, why?
Because it's the same guy.
Matthew Weiner. Wiener.
Wiener.
It's actually spelled Wiener.
It's Weiner. It's Weiner.
No, it's not Wiener. It's fucking Weiner.
I actually had a...
Which I don't know what's worse.
No, funny thing, in high school, one of my good friends was... Her last name was Weiners. It was Wieners.
It was Wieners, yeah.
She got really mad, though, if you even made that joke.
Because we all fucking know. But the thing is,
anyway, don't even mention that in the context of Mad Men because there's some Jews.
No, that would be the word uncircumcised.
Anyway.
Which nobody likes. Penises are ugly enough as it is, man. Do what you can.
Anyway. No, and so Cynthia was like, no, watch this. We can talk about it as roommates. But also, I think you'll fucking love it. And I was just, done. I was, zoned in. It was awesome. I just got into it, you know? I haven't had cable since I lived on my own, so I was, sought it out. I waited and just bought seasons and, just, sat and watched them for hours, you know? They're visually stunning. Visually stunning, but also, contextually, they challenge you, because they put in history of the time, yes. They tried. Yeah. Oh, they tried to.
I think they actually keep to the context of the time.
Until season 6, when they're like, oh, these empowered black women, and then fuck them. What happened to Dawn? I don't mean D-O-N, I mean...
D-A-W-N.
Yeah. There are these, 2 empowered black women they allowed in the company. Obviously, they allowed them in for,
political reasons.
Political reasons and statistic reasons. But then nothing happened. Yeah, which I understand. But you don't hear anything from them. So I was just I wanted to,
Well, actually...
Because honestly, I cared more to a point...
That's something... Okay, let's shelve that. Because that comes back into the finale.
Am I because I'm a woman, you're shelving my thoughts?
I'm shelving your thoughts. It's the patriarchy in action. Right now. Everybody grab your pitchforks.
No,
but
that's my understanding and my introduction to Mad Men. So that was the first show, I guess, in forever I sought out to see to the end. I did.
Okay.
And actually, for the last season, I'll be honest, you and I delayed it for a long, long time.
Yeah, we watched the first couple episodes broadcast, and then we kind of waited till the end and then stacked them and then watched them within a night or two.
Yeah, which is maybe not fair. But also...
It's better. It was actually better that way, because I think you get the full breadth of it. You have a much clearer understanding.
No, but I'm also in a minority of the crowd that I rooted for someone that actually did well, but then her ending was kind of just dropped out.
Okay. Before we get to that, I will contextualize Mad Men for myself, because I'm selfish.
Because you're a man.
Because I'm a man.
Because you're a madman. Which will lead us to...
I came to Mad Men a couple years in. Probably about season 3 was probably on TV when I first got into it. My friends let me borrow the first couple seasons. I watched them, and I really liked that show.
So same as me.
I really liked the show.
That's the same as me.
Yeah, very similar. I liked the show. But as the show went on, I felt it became incredibly redundant. I think it lasted maybe a season longer than it needed to, or maybe even 2 seasons. Because
I would say 2.5.
I'd say the last 2 seasons. Because you have all these characters literally learning the same lessons they had already learned. And whether that was part of the greater narrative, I kind of don't think so. You could see the wheels spinning on the show at times. And then there was a lot of stuff, like a lot of plot threads, rather. A lot of plot threads, rather.
Trans works too. That's afraid.
Alright. Thrands. That never really come to any satisfying conclusion, which I understand. You can say, well, that's life, and you don't always get the answers. I get it. But, like, it was, at sometimes it's like, okay, you're not really making a point, you're just showing something for how it was, which is fine. But I think as a television show, as storytellers, I think there was a little bit of a weakness there, in terms of what they're producing. But, so, all that aside, the finale, general opinion.
Wait, can we spoiler or?
We are spoiling the fuck out of the Mad Men finale.
So, announce that and.
I just did.
Yeah. Turn it off if you don't want to hear.
General feelings of the in general. We'll get more specific as we go.
It was a trough in a line of like there was no wave, no crest. It was like bottom line. That's what I mean. Like
the word that comes to my mind is contrived.
No, it wasn't contrived.
I think it's contrived.
Can I tell you something? It wasn't contrived. I think it just bottomed out, which is a trough. Like, in a wave sequence, you build up, you build up, you build up, which I will give Mad Men. It was always, like, to a point, it was very good at just looking at people. And it was very good looking at people in their time. It was. It's not you, like, hated Dawn or hated this person, that person, you know.
I don't hate any of them. I just don't like them. I couldn't get behind them.
Oh, just like It's Always Sunny, but they're funny, so it's excused.
No, that is absolutely absurd for you to say that. Because,
but can I just...
No,
can I finish?
No, I'm not, because you just accused me of something. That's apples and oranges. I mean, you're talking about, like... Because It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia will use the reprehensible nature of his characters to make a point. We all understand that they are reprehensible.
Mad Men did that.
Mad Men is asking you to identify with people and be hopeful for people that sometimes don't deserve it.
No, I don't think that's true at all.
I think it's fucking very true. I think Don Draper is the poster child for who nobody should ever be.
I wasn't talking about Don.
That was an example. Do you think that show is not sympathetic to Don Draper?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Because he's handsome.
Is Don Draper worth your sympathy?
No.
No, he should be an anthropological artifact. I don't think he's looked at that way.
What I'm talking about, it's like the world and the people around that person, or actually a lot of the core people. Like, even some of the core people you can sympathize. Like, you yelled at me about the Pete Campbell, like I hated Pete Campbell. And I got mad about his ending.
No, because I don't think you're...
No, I did! No, because Pete was a shit husband. A shit father.
He was.
I think he was excused. But then at the same time, she ended up being a Kennedy.
But it's not really excused in the sense... No, and that's why the contrivance thing comes in. I think his endgame, where he gets to have his family back, is not earned narratively. And I don't understand why, if you know that this is going to be your last season, why you don't do everything you can to justify it to the audience. And I feel the same way...
No, because I think what Wiener tried to do, so we'll call him Wiener.
Okay.
No, but he's a wiener. That's what he tries to do, is he assumes that people will, like, accentuate things. He assumes, like, his crowd is smarter. Like, just as he did with fucking Sopranos, and I couldn't hang on with it because it was fucking boring. Just like fucking Mad Men got fucking boring.
No, I think the end of The Sopranos and the end of Mad Men, it makes a lot of sense, and in a broader sense because of the fact that the majority of the last season feels just like another season of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It does not. There is not a lot of build up.
Or conclusions, actual conclusions.
Well, concrete, which is fine. Like, I understand, like, okay, the idea that these characters are going to have a life beyond the episodes we watch, and I'm okay with that.
No, or they will, but it's up to the wind. No, that's what I'm saying. I got mad because I became a mad woman. No, because Joan literally was very, like, that's what I was just, like, I was talking about to begin with. Joan is very fucking like... I mean, she's problematic. And I hoped to like no end she became something beyond that.
But why
and
do you feel Joan is problematic, first of all?
Because she understood the time as like, I will use my sexuality like to move myself forward, yes.
To a point.
No, to a point.
And that was part of her arc, is that she gets tired of that rigmarole by the end.
No, absolutely. And then when she finally did it, she became downtrodden, and then, yeah, it was just fucking like...
But she didn't become downtrodden at all.
No,
she had to... She
fucking did!
No, what she became... She understood the reality of her situation, and went about it, took the best course of action she could. She basically becomes a producer that has all these other options possibly to her, and she brings Peggy along with her.
No, Peggy didn't join her.
No, they do not tell you that. They don't tell you.
Peggy didn't join her.
No, that's
what
not
was
true
the name
at
of
all.
her What was the name of the company at the end when she answered the phone?
Who answered the phone?
When Joan answers the phone, what is the name?
I don't remember. What are you
It's not
talking
to do with
about?
Olsen. Peggy didn't join.
I don't remember the scene you're talking about. So
The other movie, when she's in her apartment, she hands her son off to her mom, and she answers the phone. There's boars and stuff.
isn't that before?
No, that's the like end scene for Joan.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing much about Olsen. Olsen didn't because
Yeah,
she
but-
found her man.
No, because
That's all Peggy cared about. No, in the end, that's all Peggy cared about.
Peggy's journey is one of like the hope for the audience in terms of audience fulfillment is that she finds somebody that's compatible with her.
Oh, which was
Because-
there for like 5 seasons.
Which is a bullshit thing because like you're equating like happiness to soulmates, but her character is the one that is there to represent that, and she always was there to represent that because that is the main arc of her character, is somebody that had to deal with shitty relationships, basically.
So did Joan.
And so did Joan. I agree.
But it wasn't. That didn't define Joan.
No, because she got the game. Like, Joan was complicit in her own...
That's why Joan was...
Shit.
That is why Joan...
So why can't you be happy for Joan at the end if she starts her own company?
I think I was, but...
And the implication is that she started her own company to the detriment of her relationship status. So it means that she has moved on from being defined by whoever she's with.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But at the end, what killed me was she couldn't find a way to connect that with her son.
No,
Like,
I do actually think that's a problem.
No, that was my complaint. That's what I was just trying to express. She did everything else, like, perfectly. And I've, like, from, like...
They leave that way too up in the air, like, in terms of, like, what's going on with her son.
They didn't leave it up in the air. Her mom walks out with him again. So it's a grandma situation. That's fucking great. Like, there is a familial, like, person that can support, you know? But at the same time... No, but she couldn't figure out how to balance things. But at the same time, she also... This is what killed me, too. Roger offered her a lot of money for him. Or offered a lot of money for Kevin. To be silent, because he married some, like, dumb French, like, Quebecian lady.
Well, he didn't marry her, but they're together.
They were getting married. It was mentioned, too. He's gonna marry her. No, and that was the agreement, was like, I will just pay you off, it'll be fine, I will still be around, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Pop in and out of town like a grandfather figure, which, Silver Fox, yeah. No, but that's what killed me about Joan. Because she, again, accepted money to secure something, and then tried to better herself, but then, like, just didn't better everything. Like, she just didn't, like... They didn't make Joan the, like, bull in the china shop she should have been. Like, Joan could have fucked up so much shit and, like,
Well, because that's because what you're expecting, right? Especially in terms of, like, how things end with the company.
No, that's not what you're expecting from Joan. What you're expecting from Joan...
No, you expected her to go to the paper and sue them, right?
No.
So what did you expect her to do? What she did?
No, I expect her to, when she became a partner, was like, get balls. Like, balls in an outwardly way.
And she did... And then those balls are taken from her because it's taken from everybody. Including, like, the higher-ups.
Like Cooper, who died.
No, including Roger Sterling, Don Draper. They don't have as much agency as they had with their own agency. No pun intended. But they're all kind of subject to this new company. They are. Like,
But
they're
it's
all,
not-
they
but it's
all come
not
to an
new.
understanding that they are part of kind of something they've already all gone through, and they're not interested in it. Joan had already gone through the trials that she was about to go through, and I think Peggy was about to feel the same way.
Joan gone through what trials?
In terms of working her way up the ladder, she was being busted back down.
How did Joan work her way up the ladder?
You're inferring like it's a sexual thing, but
It was.
you're taking away her
So, wait,
actual
that's-
ability. She could actually
She had
do
the ability.
things.
No, she had the ability, but how did she get the partnership?
Because of placating her her peers. She did, and it was terrible. It's supposed to make you feel bad. You're not supposed to feel good about it.
No,
You're
and
not-
that's
it's not an empowerment moment for Joan. It's a mistake. Like, characters can be multidimensional. Like, they can make mistakes and do that kind of stuff.
I understand. But I thought Joan would come to the point where she was like at a point where she had like such a crux on everything, because she's so capable.
No, but then you're talking about a character being omnipotent.
No, but no. To a point, she could have been.
No.
No,
I
but listen to me. But what bothered me was the fact that her son was just still passed off.
Yes, and I agree with you. I think that's a problem.
That's what killed
because
me.
the message of
Because then you have
There's
to
a
look
broader-
back at Peggy, who always cried about her lost son.
No, but there's
Yes.
no. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm going to take this outside of the show. There's a broader political ramification of that in terms of the point they're making. The point they're making is that, like, well, because men don't have to be tied down because they're not but women do when it comes to in terms of a child. So a woman shouldn't have to make that decision either, right? So as a man, like, I can walk away, I can leave, but as a woman, you're expected to take care of a child that both of you have had. So the show is saying fuck that. A woman can also choose basically to raise the child or not. But I think it's like one of these situations where it's like the problem isn't that men sometimes leave. The problem is
the whole show.
well, okay, no, I gotta rephrase
That's
that.
the whole show.
No, the problem to me with that situation in particular is the false equivalency. It is like it should not be said that it's okay for men to move on. You know what I mean? Like, men should have to stay and deal with the ramifications of their actions, whether
With
when that comes
children or work or life
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the show does a disservice to human beings in general by saying, like, well, women can do that too because a man can do it. And I think that's a bullshit statement to make.
Why?
Because I think both sexes should be held accountable.
Just
No,
everyone.
just the social structure of, like, men being able to fucking ditch, it should not be acceptable. And it's no more acceptable for a man than it is for a woman.
No.
And that's the problem.
Can I be really weird?
Go ahead.
I feel it's like, oh god, ready for the comments? No, I feel it's more so for a woman sometimes.
No, I just don't think it should be
no.
okay in general for either parent.
No, I agree, but at the same time, especially the time frame we're thinking of, it's not okay. For movement and, like, I know that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like really weird for saying this.
No, for men it is because, like, we have a term for it. We have deadbeat dad. We have, like,
So
we have social.
what's the mom term?
There is no mom term. That's what I'm saying.
Monstrous mom.
Because that show is taking it out of the context of the time and recontextualizing it to a modern affectation.
No, because even when you watch, like, the bonus features, they explain, like, contextualization at the time with, like, divorces. Divorces are in vogue now, and this is why it became in vogue, and, like, why it was okay. It was, like, women had an agency. That's like, a subtle undertone, but that's why I get mad about Dawn. That's why I'm Dawn, as in, like, Dawn of the Day. Dawn's secretary. That's why that is what made me most mad. And it's not because I'm, like...
Because you don't know what happened to her?
No, you really don't.
She decided not to move on with him because she knew
No,
that she would
but what
be
happened?
treated
But-
poorly.
no.
Just like all the other characters.
No,
learned.
and I understand that. But, like, you spent so much time getting invested with her friends, and that community, because that became a push at the time. And, like, not even a push at the time, just in general, like, even nowadays.
I think there's a grander point, though, is that, like, nothing really changed.
No, I
Even
understand
though all
that,
this
but that's
action
not
took
that's
place,
not
nothing
overstated,
changed.
because no one even mentions it.
Well, I
But
think
that's
that's
what-
just for
that-
you
but-
to infer.
But that's what kills me, because even, like, Peggy conveniently got able to, like, move out of that, like, tenement she owned because of her, like, radical, like, fiance. Like, things like that. Things that actually, like, mattered. Like, the actual, like... So I like the show in its essence because it was politically, socially, contextually aware. And that was the point of the show. It developed characters very well.
I don't think it was contextually aware.
Can I...
I think it was
Can
always
I-
with a very modern eye.
Can I finish, though?
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be, right? So, contextually, like, you have these people and these humans developing in a time era. A span of probably, like, 20 years? 23 years? And maybe more. Don't quote me. That's what killed me. It was, like, the most poignant times. The times that could pivot them into some crazy shit. Like, the actual times that could pivot them into, like, thought-provoking time. That it was downplayed, and it just kind of, like, fell to the wayside so you could, like, appeal to these, like, spoiled people. It killed me.
But is
that is what...
Yeah, but is that part of the broader message?
If it was poorly presented.
Well, what did you
No,
want
it
them
was
to do?
poorly
Hold your hand
presented.
and, like, tell you that, like, well, things haven't changed for everybody.
No.
Even although we've made all
That's
these
not what I'm
advances.
saying. Show me Dawn for a minute.
But she was
I'll
also...
just say Dawn, the secretary.
Well,
'cause
she's
you
also
see
not-
Dawn all the time.
She's not a main character, and, like, she doesn't need to be
Just
paid
as
off.
much as fucking Teddy wasn't. He came back several times.
Not at the end.
No, but you know what I'm saying, Sean. It was like
4 people were given their... Joan, Peggy, Dawn, and Roger. Became the focus.
I understood that. But there were, like... I think sometimes with character development, the subtleties and the, like, lower accents, like the lower character points, like fucking even like Cosgrove, like Ken. Like Ken like had them at the crux and he just like vanished in like fucking 2 episodes. He was just gone. And he fucking had them like by the balls and he was just gone.
Yeah, because he
Like-
fucks them over. He makes it so they can't comfortably, like, transition.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? It was just like so quick. It's not even like satisfying.
Oh,
No, because for me, as much as I
he's not
love
the main character.
no, but can I tell
When
you?
you're ending a series, you have to fucking serve
Do you
the most
understand?
important stories.
But
'Cause
can
you
you-
can't serve everybody's story.
Can you understand what I'm saying though? Because they had a point where they could take that minor note and like fuck over the major and like make it like heart wrenching for the person, but it didn't. It was all happy for everyone. I understand the happiness, and there are several like interviews with like Weiner and like Ham and John Hamm and stuff that explain it. I don't want to listen to it.
No, I don't give a shit about their explanation about the ending.
No, that's what I'm saying because like
I think it was pretty clear.
there was, but there was also so much that was like muddled and like kind of beautiful, like what they built up to for like 6 seasons. Like it was like they had their hands dirty for so long. Like something could have been just like fucking wrecked. Nothing was wrecked. Someone could sit on a hillside and meditate. Someone could go fly off in a jet with his like ex-wife that he fucked over so often, his daughter he neglected. Like even like Joan, as much as I loved her, like became beautiful and neglected her son. Like that's stupid. Like it's, and I understand that's like the overarching thing.
No, it's supposed to be reflecting reality.
Yeah, but do you get what I'm saying was like what they set me up for as a fan, for in my opinion, that I watched it for so long and like, not to be weird, but invested a lot. It could have been a lot more muddled and gritty. To a point, like something like someone
Oh,
should
it
have.
was way too clean.
That's what I mean.
Like if you're gonna be ambiguous, be ambiguous. Like
They're right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is like they get set up for so much better, and they just set off in a fucking like opiate haze. No, it was.
No, I think it was just a cheap. fan servicey finale.
No, it was,
Especially
and that's why.
Peggy. Oh my god, that was like a really contrived
What did I say to you?
ending.
What did I say to you about that?
I don't remember, so remind me.
I called it like 3 seasons before. I was like, oh, they're gonna be like together, even when he was like fucking some other lady.
Oh no, you always got the sense that it was a foregone conclusion.
And everyone did, and it happened. It was beautiful and like happy.
No, I think the way it happened was dumb. Like,
oh, I love you. You hung up. Oh, run to me. Like, fuck that.
no, it was stupid. It was contrived. But
No,
it was
but-
fan service. That's what it was. Like, in the
I
most
know,
truest
but
sense.
that show was set up to not be a fan service show. That could have wrecked people and caused conversation for years to come.
No, I
and
think
they didn't.
The more powerful statement with that relationship is they don't get together because he's with somebody else.
Who?
Or she's with somebody else. She's unhappy. But
No,
he's
but
always
that
there for her, and then you just let it hang.
No, that happened every year before that.
No, that's what I mean. Just let it continue that way.
Let it be. Let it be. That's how they should end it. They're so good with music cues. She should have called him. He'd been like, what? Or she should have been like, what? And then,
I think
There are
the
songs
character
in this book.
that
Let
actually
it be.
ends up being the most...
disappointing?
No.
Disappointing.
Not disappointing.
Peggy is-
No, Peggy's the most disappointing because, like...
No, because her
she
rise...
has nothing to do since season 4.
No, but her rise between, like... In between 1, 2, and 3 is fucking killer. And for a long time, I was rooting for her, and I just stopped caring.
Yeah,
She's a
she's-
selfish fucking lady.
No, because she's very sympathetic, but, like, even
No.
if she's selfish, I'm okay with that. Because I think that's
No,
part of
because-
her journey.
No,
I
she's
just
like
don't think-
cutthroat to get to where she needs to be, which I sympathize with. I sympathize with to no end. No, I do. But at the same time, like, the way it ended, it's like,
That's what I mean.
oh, cuddle bugs.
No, the payoff is lame.
No, and that's even with Dawn. Dawn is someone, like, you love but hate all the time, and his ending, like, meditating on a hill, even when his, like, extended family, that up until that
It's falling
point...
apart.
No, up until that point, even his extended, like, fake family, well, real family, but distant family, like, even rejects him. You'd want something to, like... I don't want him to jump out of the fucking building like the fucking title sequence expected him to, which was always the
that's what everybody
series.
thought, was Dondre was going to jump out of a fucking window.
I'm mad as hell and I can't take it anymore! But, no. I mean, it's what everyone expected, but you thought he would just finally, like, give up.
No, I think the problem...
Like, that's what... I would want that more. It's predictable, but I'd want that more. I'd want that, like, fucking catharsis again. And be left with a catharsis. Like, where is he going? And, like, wonder that more, as opposed to, like, I'm in the solace, and I leave everything behind me. My daughter is now taking care of everything. You know, like... I would just wander off into this, like, cliffside, and, like, well, I'll be a hippie
No,
now.
well,
You know?
I think the ending validates and lionizes his lifestyle and his character.
No,
because, like, the implication at the end of the show is that Don goes back to advertising.
And
that
makes the Coke ad.
And makes the Coke ad.
Which I... Yeah.
Like, that's the implication.
I'd like to teach the world... Yeah.
I mean, that's
Singing
so
by-
fucking clear as day. Like, I don't understand
No,
how you get anything else from that. But that means...
No, I know, because he's asked, like, what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the episode? Like, oh, don't you... No, not even that. Like, half hour. Or you can come back and, like, sell for Coke. And he's like, no. And he, like, meditates and he sells it.
No, because...
And I get that. I get that. He's like,
It romanticizes this very singular trait that he has.
It's not even
of being
romantic-
a fucking ad man. And that's what it all comes back to. And it's
It's
kind of
not-
gross. It dehumanizes him. Makes him unrelatable. Like, I do not... Like, he has
It's not unrelatable.
Yes, it
It's-
is. It
No.
should be about his personal stakes. And when you don't get satisfaction in his character with personal stakes, in terms of fucking having to deal with the wreckage he has left behind,
Can I post something,
it's fucking
though?
bullshit.
Can I post something, though?
What?
But is not that what, like, the penultimate is, then? You're talking about Joan. She's at the penultimate where she's like... she's like, I'm a strong lady, I pushed my son to the side, which is shitty, but, like, I am a self-made woman. He's a self-made man. So why do we fight that?
Because he's
I'm
built
playing devil's advocate.
First of all, we did fight Jen. And
I'm just saying, though, so let's fight Dawn. Because, like, Dawn's...
I am
like,
fighting Dawn. I think it's bullshit.
Why is that bullshit?
I think it's a bullshit fucking end note.
That's Don's whole life.
It's disingenuous.
But Don's whole life is bullshit. Don's whole life is bullshit.
I know that. And he
Once
never
he
has
hit-
to,
once
he
he
never
hits
has
the-
to fucking deal with it.
No, he does.
No, he should have had to do... Yeah, because the show hasn't done anything new since season 4.
Right.
So it's fucking redundant. And if that's their greater point, then fuck them. Like, that's stupid. It dehumanizes him. It turns him into a caricature. It turns him into a fucking superhero. Which he is not. We should never fucking watch that show and feel good about where he ends in that situation. Like, he is not a good person. He tries to be at the end.
Neither is Roger.
I think-
neither is Joan. Neither is
Okay,
Peggy.
well, what's the
neither
difference
is...
though? But what is the... Okay, Roger specifically. What is the difference between Roger and
He's
Don?
honest.
He is who he fucking is. Always.
That's why you love him.
No, that is why he is the character I can get behind the most. There is no fog. There is anything. It's nothing but clarity. He states his purpose, and then he does it. He
So you know what's
says
really
what he
funny?
wants, and he goes for it.
The person
Good or bad?
The person I get behind the most is Roger's secretary, actually. I can't remember her name for the life of me, and that's terrible. The one that's kind of like homely.
I know who you're talking about.
That's the character I get behind the most. Because she's like, what the fuck? All the time. She's like, what the fuck? Wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are the honest characters, but it's a mess. It was not enough, like, solace, like, to the point it should have been.
No,
To any like point. Joan could have been like, actually, they could have ended on a high note of Joan. I don't care what, like, Peggy fucked up a long time ago.
If you wanted to make a feminist statement, yes.
I'm not talking about feminist statement. I'm just talking about character-wise. Because Joan also, like...
Joan's not the main character.
No, I know she's not the main character. But neither is Roger.
No,
But
Dawn is what it ends with.
But what's funny
ends
is...
with.
No, what's funny is Joan stayed true to herself, but was quiet about it. She did what she had to do, but then came home. Came home, was loud about it, but then was outwardly quiet.
No, I agree.
She did what she had to do. She wrecked shit.
I don't know if she wrecked anything.
Oh,
but,
she did.
No, she threatened to wreck things. Which, okay, this is my main problem with the finale has to do with the entirety of the last season. There is a
mess.
No, but there's a very clear narrative disconnect between the first half and the second half, which they split because they split season 7 in 2 halves.
Yeah.
So there's a narrative
Because
disconnect.
they sat through like
And
a
it
year of
fo-
writing strikes.
It fucking felt like just another season for the most part. Like, why weren't they just building towards these conclusions and giving us a clearer understanding? I mean, people can argue whatever way they want to argue. People can say, well, there is clarity there. Like, this is like foregone conclusions, or this is all implications or inferences from the rest of the show. That's if you want to make that argument, okay. I disagree. I think that it is too much. That last season is way too status quo for way too long.
No,
And then in the last 3 episodes, they try to do a lot of like quick work to get these characters to where they are in the last episode. And I just thought it was bullshit.
No, I was really bummed. What did I tell you when we watched it? I was like, I was really like sad. Which is funny. So going back to my like origins with the show, I tried to talk to Cynthia like 2 seasons ago about it, and she's like, I just stopped watching it. She's like, hey, what? She didn't know what happened.
No, a lot of people stopped watching it. Actually, the people that got me into the show stopped watching it. They don't watch it anymore. And that's like I told my friend, I was just like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, I watched the show and I actively dislike most of the characters, and it's which is fine. I think that that's okay to feel that way if you're supposed to. I don't think that's the intention of the show. I think it's always supposed to be this very saccharine, sympathetic view of all of them. I think you're supposed to feel that way at all times. Except for characters like Pete and stuff, nobody is really ever
Pete.
very clearly a villain. I think that arc with Pete could have worked if they had earned it, and that goes back to the whole thing about like why weren't they just building these moments up from the beginning of that season 7. So, final verdict on the Mad Men season finale.
I'm sad.
You're sad.
No,
I think it's unearned.
I'm sad. Like, I invested a lot of time in those characters and, like, thought about those characters, and it was kind of, yeah, lackadaisical. It was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Just like, it'll be pretty. And no, it'll be pretty.
It'll be super pretty.
I want all these dresses, though. I do want all the dresses. So if the costume designer is listening, give
You
me.
send it our way.
Yeah.
Get in touch. We'll get in touch.
I'm more of a Peggy than a Joan.
Well, speaking as
Of Mad.
we will briefly mention this. We're not going to talk about too long about this. Speaking of people that are made to be superheroes, let's talk about real superheroes, actual superheroes in the cultural zeitgeist. Avengers: Age of Ultron. Quick thoughts.
Meh.
Me too. Meh. I think that the Marvel formula has finally, well, to me it's been fucking old hat for a while, but even with the grander population is finally being like,
Which is
really,
funny.
guys,
Which is
really, let's be. This is supposed to be the tentpole movie of like all the standalone ones. So you could be like, well, I don't like the standalone ones, but I like the Avengers because it builds up something.
No,
This is build up to nothing, and it satisfies nothing that you haven't actually already seen in the movies of the individual characters.
But which is
No
funny.
growth.
But which is funny because while we were watching, I'm like, I'm alright with this. No,
No, you are.
No, but-
It's entertaining.
it wasn't. No, it's okay.
I think it's entertaining.
As someone that is a Marvel person, it's okay.
I thought if I were to put my critical hat on, I would say it's less than okay. I think it is indicative of just like sequelitis, and actually having nothing to say, nothing important to say.
I do love seeing the Hulk's family.
No, Nighthawk.
Oh, it's Nighthawk's family. Oh,
Nighthawk's family.
oh, goddamn. See,
Hey.
it's all a blur. Because meh.
Yeah, not satisfying. I don't understand like I hope the sycophantic militant Marvelites kind of like get a little lessened because of that. I hope they stop their sycophantic love for something that is ultimately mediocre. Not bad, just fairly mediocre. But all those
On a high note.
all those fucking. How about that Black Widow, huh? Why wasn't she on the t-shirts?
Oh my god.
Why wasn't she in the toy sets? Oh, wait a second.
Wait, can
Neither
we-
was fucking Hawkeye. It's because they're not the main characters and has nothing to do with fucking gender equality.
Wait, can I just...
But gender equality...
Can I just quote the director of Bridesmaids spy movie, and also the upcoming all-female Ghostbusters from At Shit Night, when he said, yes, when he said, oh, you know, Black Widow, why wasn't she more of a prominent... Oh, fuck off.
Yeah,
Because he's probably
he was
like
saying
a-
that in reaction to Joss Whedon leaving Twitter because of the actually extreme fucking reactionary left-leaning psychopaths on fucking social media, which has become a thing. Like lately, it's just like there is nothing but like the worst of humanity. Twitter has come to represent the worst of humanity.
It's not even... Yeah. That's why
Because
I left it like 3 years ago.
Because you can't have a conversation on Twitter. It's for fun. It should be for fun. It should be for jokes. It should be like, hey, check out this article.
140 characters of awesome.
Yeah, this is what I thought about this movie. Like really quick,
it's
stupid
dumb.
shit. But it's gotten really gross, unfortunately.
It's been
on
like that
all
for a
sides.
while.
On all sides.
It's been like that for a while.
It's gotten really disgusting.
It's been like that for a while.
But speaking of ladies and empowerment, nope.
What? Oh, I don't want to talk about...
Ex Machina.
No. Ugh.
Ex Machina. Alex Garland's directorial debut. If you don't know who Alex Garland is, Garland is, you're probably not a nerd in the same capacity that I am. He is mostly a writer. He wrote Dread, he wrote 28 Days Later, and he wrote the script for Sunshine, which is almost a good movie.
Can I stop you for a second?
What?
I know I'm your wife, and I'm usually up to par, but I did not know most of that.
Well, I just dropped a knowledge bomb.
Can I tell you something? Oh, dear God. And I'm a lady, and oh, dear God.
Oh, dear God, what?
It's fucking terrible. It was boring.
You thought Ex Machina was terrible?
It was boring as shit.
It
was boring as shit. Predictable.
I disagree!
It's
predictable. Good. It was very predictable.
Yeah, and that... Oh, no. For the statement, the broad general, like, blah, 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 and the fight, and the... Fuck that. It was boring. It was boring. Because it presents every obvious, like... Sorry to go... Sarkeesian on you, which fuck Anita Sarkeesian, but fuck tropes. And every trope of a lady is presented to you, and then every trope of an empowered lady is presented to you.
I agree.
In very sequential order, in a very like...
That was very obvious. Handwritten.
And then also watching, what is it? Black Mirror, right?
Black Mirrors?
Yeah.
The BBC show?
Yeah. And then watching that and seeing the same guy being in kind of the same position.
That's true.
No,
there's an episode of the BBC show Black Mirrors where Domhnall Gleeson, also star of Frank, which is a great movie you should check out on Netflix.
Which is in the same kind of like...
But he's a man who dies, and that his wife finds like this service or this program or whatever that basically can... the service amalgamates everything about this person's public life, including social media and text messages, to recreate that person as an artificial intelligence. And there's some crossover for sure.
No, which is like unfair, I guess, in a sense. But at the same time, you got to look at like
because superficially, yes, it is.
It is. It's bad. I understand. When you watch it though, it's like the same thing. Like something is built to your expectancies and likes and wants and understandings, and like, I mean, his was sadly based on porn, which most people's would be. But you know what I'm in Ex Machina, you know, whatever. But that's what frustrates me. Is like it's supposed to be this like feminist piece, and I get it. I get it. No.
First of all, the feminist piece aspect of it, that is like. That is like cultural like reappropriation. People saw this movie.
It always
that's what they
is.
saw in it. I think it is actually there. There's traces of it there. But I think the broader conversation that movie is having is sentience, and what does it mean to be alive? The more I think about it, it is very, very feminist.
Can I stop
in the
you?
Sense of,
no,
like,
can I stop? No.
Not the negative either. But
no,
like,
but can I stop you in that sentence?
What?
So you're presented with sentience in the exposition of like feminist understanding of these like female like beings. I don't want to say
they're female because the creator chose them to be female.
And they got fucking like
and
they got fucking fuck holes.
That was the whole point. Was that like it is based out of this creator's insecurities?
No, but can I just say something to you though?
Yeah.
What's feminist about someone who? Okay, so there are these beings created, and then you have this like obviously like masculine like overbearing like
the mad scientist.
Yeah, the mad scientist that's just like makes like fuck bots.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Yes. Good actor.
Makes like
he's great.
It's great. He's actually good.
All the performances are amazing in this movie.
No, I will agree with that. The message is lost upon me. I will explain why. Okay, so he makes all these, like, fuckbots in this, like, sterile environment, and I get that. But so, in a feminist statement, like... No, maybe it is a feminist statement, because, like, fuck all males. Because we're in the third wave.
It's a little third wavy.
No, it is. No, because you're saying, like... You have someone that cares about you. A being that actually, like, understands you without your hair, without your...
And he's just as bad as the evil misogynist scientist.
So fuck that. No, seriously, fuck that.
Well, because... Well, let's break it down. Then.
Wait, I'm a lady.
let me just...
I'm a lady. Can I talk about this? Because it's, it's my feminist piece.
No, but I want you to have, like...
No, I have it.
No, I want you to think about it this way.
Let
In terms
think.
of... I'm going to
No,
project
because-
to you the message the movie is sending in context of that.
Yeah.
In those terms.
Yeah.
The movie is saying
Everything
that
wants me.
even if you are a nice guy, you still benefit and you still take part in things that give you the upper hand.
That's terrible.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
That's
I just want to talk about the movie on its
terrible.
own terms.
And that's why I hate anything. And I'll say it again. I've said it before on videos, podcasts. Fuck this feminist view. It's a people view.
This militant, like, feminist view, for sure.
No.
No, I think, well, we've talked
I will
about...
be a Morgan Freeman.
We've talked about this before.
I know, but I will be the Morgan Freeman. So, about Black History Month. What about it? So, what do you feel about it? I don't want it. Why don't you want it? I don't want it because Black history is American history. Just as much as, like, lady history, Native American history. It's all American history.
I agree
How do we
with you.
stop racism? Stop talking about it. I will quote Morgan Freeman on that.
Well, Morgan Freeman's not a fucking philosopher or anybody that's worth... like,
I know, and he
quoting.
also fucked his granddaughter.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
care.
a fucking weirdo.
No, but I agree with him on that.
No,
That's how I feel.
So do I.
So
Like,
this movie is like militant, like, because at the end when she runs away, she locks the nice guy, someone that cares about her, away to die in this like field he can't get out of, and obviously the controller is dead. Like the fucking like strong hand is dead. She runs out. What's she gonna do, Sean? When she runs out into the world, it's beautiful at a point. When she encounters a man, what's she gonna do?
Well, that's the thing.
No, Sean, no.
It doesn't answer those broader questions.
No, but I'm asking you to answer that. So when this girl runs out, this woman, sorry, I don't want to say girl. When this woman...
Well, she's not a woman, she's a robot.
Well, she's a robot, but she's a woman. And I have scarecrows. But what's happening? When she runs around the world, it's beautiful and fun.
She goes, people watching, like she said she was going to in a crosswalk.
But what's going to
Because
happen?
the movie's that fucking, like, heavy-handed.
But Sean, what's going to happen? When a male approaches her, what's going to happen?
Well, that's the question.
And I'm asking you.
Well, it's not the question the movie poses, but, like...
That's the question now. So what's going to happen? She's going to, like fucking be, like...
Yeah, but she's in a new circumstance.
No.
You're talking...
No,
then
'cause
you're
she's
talking...
supposed
Then you're... See, what you're talking about is nurture versus nature.
Yeah, just like any person.
Like...
Any person.
Her learned response is going to be an aggressive style of survival. So her learned response...
No, but what is her only aggressive style aimed towards, though? What was she trained towards?
Well, she wasn't trained towards anything.
Or was she learned towards? It's all males.
Men. It's in the context of men, yes. And that's part of the point.
That's fucking stupid.
Is that men, nice or overbearingly misogynistic, whatever? Because I think you no, but like that made.
But it's also with ladies too. That's my
Oscar Isaac's character is a misogynist. I think we can both agree on that. Like in the very dictionary definition of misogyny.
Yes.
Yes, actually, no, a real example of it. I'm not talking about the reappropriation of the term where people just fucking throw it everywhere and it's become meaningless.
Sean, I know. So you eradicate that, but then you find like a healthy existence to a point. But like, because you will argue that he watched her through surveillance cameras. He couldn't help that. It was shown to him.
No, I think that's just human nature. That's curiosity.
Right. Just as much as not to be weird, but like just as much as like I'd watch you sleep one night.
No, but the movie does what the movie says that it's a creepy voyeuristic experience. That's the way that it's shot.
It's stupid. It's stupid. No, it is. Because the point is to make a connection. And obviously, Oscar was not making connections. He was just fucking things or just controlling things. It was not a connection. It wasn't.
No, I agree.
And then when the one time a connection was made, it was automatically shut down. and then like suffocated because he was locked down in like a glass sphere in a hallway he could not escape.
Well, he was locked in a room.
Yeah, right. Oh,
And he was going to starve to death or whatever.
Starve, or eventually
That's the
there would not
that's-
be enough oxygen.
That's
Whatever it
the
is.
implication, yes.
Yes. That's fucked.
I agree with you. I kind of do think it's fucked. I don't think, like, do I think that they should have gotten together and been happily ever after?
No.
But her first act as, like, a sentient, quote-unquote, human...
She wasn't sentient.
Her first act as a free-thinking being was to murder somebody. Like, yes, not directly, indirectly.
No, so she took a lot from Oscar.
Yeah, and that's a valid point, and I... Like,
so how is that a feminist statement? If she
having,
if she took a lot from Oscar.
Oh, I don't know if it's because like
it's not.
Like cause,
it's not. Everyone's saying it is, but it's not.
No, I don't think people. I think like just like we've talked about this before, not necessarily on this podcast, but like I think if you cherry pick information, you can prove anything. And when people write these dissertations, these articles, I think they're ignoring a lot of stuff to make a broader point. I think the points they make are there, but I don't think it's the whole. I think it's pieces of something. I don't think the movie is that, like, specific or direct. I don't. I really don't. I think, like, there is a conversation about sentience. There's a conversation about gender and how we treat each other. There's a conversation about misogyny.
And then there's robots.
No, there's a lot of, like, good material to talk about.
Are you talking about Transformers?
And I think like the problem is that like if you were to talk about the ending in the way we're talking about it, because what we're doing is we're taking material that the movie gave us and we're extrapolating.
Yes, I understand.
But like we would be seen as like really like hateful people because we're just not like just like giving into this concept that like women are innately good.
That's my whole...
Because that's a fucking weird statement to make. Like,
that's my
women
whole...
are just human beings, just like men, and we're all capable of terrible things.
That's my whole life, because I just think of people.
Me too, and it does not make life easier.
Whether you're transgender, female, male,
yeah.
asexual, you know, whatever. Who cares? I don't even care about labels. Like, but that's my thing, is like... Everyone's capable of bad and good.
Yeah.
So yeah, the movie showed it, but the way it was presented was terrible.
Oh, the way they presented wasn't a positive. It was this hopeful moment.
And it wasn't.
A hopeful moment of like kind of this new
hopeful,
species.
A hopeful like moment of murder.
No, because it was like
that's what
look at
made,
the birth
no.
of a new species. Like that was also part of the point of the movie.
Because honestly, no, I
to.
agree. Like I understood that like he like wanted her. She was like reciprocative. Oh God, you know.
Well, she manipulated him.
Yeah, to a point, but she was trained to do that.
She wasn't trained to do it. Like it was the natural circumstances. Wait. What you have with Eve, the character, is that she is, or Eva. She is
Eva.
The idea that all life has a like self-preservation mode.
Yeah.
That's the point.
But how is that self-preservation, though?
It is self-preservation in the sense because
you can go out and kill everyone?
No, if he's the only one that knows she's a robot, she will never be able to be accepted in society because somebody knows she's a robot.
Can I pose something
to you? So
this
is the actual test that the movie posits. Like he's supposed to go have this. What is it called? The Turing?
Can I pose something to you?
Is that what it's called? The Turing test?
Yeah, a Turing test, which they didn't actually...
Which is not a real Turing test. He's not, because he knows she's a robot.
Right. Turing test is just full on... Like,
so she's about to go and experience a real Turing test at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I get that. But, can I pose something to you?
Yes.
Is this a setup for the new Terminator movie?
Is it a prequel? Maybe. It's a sidequel, I would call it.
Just saying.
Setting up circumstances. You find out
because she doesn't care.
Oscar Isaac's company is called Skynet.
Talk about Skynet. No, but I'm just saying. There's no care in the world. Go out and destroy.
No, I don't think that's...
Emotions, it destroy families, emotions, and the world.
No, I think that whole end scene is Yeah, it's provocative.
No, it's stupid. I was not impressed.
It's somebody embracing her identity. The thing they don't ever answer,
oh.
No, but here's the question they don't ever answer. Is that, okay, Oscar Isaac, the mad scientist, gave
Can I
his
ask
robots the visage of a female. They're not actually female.
Can I ask you something?
So why does she choose to be a female at the end of the movie?
Can I tell you something though?
What?
Or ask you something?
Yes.
So one acted out, the Asian one, acted out and actually dying, right? From the closet. Yes?
Okay.
There was about 10 others.
I think it's implied that she takes pieces from everybody.
But does she just leave them there to die?
They're already dead. They're already dead.
They're not already dead.
Yes, that's the whole point.
If they're robots, they're in rest mode.
No, because their minds have been wiped. They're just fucking empty, vacant vessels. That's all they are. They're not operable.
Oh.
That's why Domhnall Gleeson's character wants to save Eva. It's because he's like, what are you going to do? He's like, well, I wipe their memory and I put them in the new fucking thing after I've learned what I got to learn.
And then she just kills everyone. So she's going to
Well,
wipe out... No, she's going to wipe... No, she's going to wipe out the world. She doesn't like ladies. She doesn't like men.
I don't think she's going to wipe out the world. I think the idea is that she is going to move past humanity and create a new race. In the same way, it's actually... No, it's got a lot of parallels with the movie Her, which is a movie I
It also has a lot of parallels with Jurassic World.
Nature finds a way. No, I think it's got a lot of parallels with the movie Spike Jonze's movie Her.
No, actually, Her was fucking terrible. We already talked about this on a podcast.
Like, this is the hard sci-fi version of Her. Like, in terms of the conclusion is very similar.
Can I tell you something? I really hate this where sci-fi is going. That's limited to a podcast stream on a computer, as opposed. No, it really is.
What the hell are you talking about?
Her.
Oh, Her is just self-absorbed.
No, but that's
it's
also.
Like a narcissist
can I tell you
that
is a pivot for like a lot of sci-fi that's coming up.
Well,
that upsets me.
No, it's the actualization of the self. It's always been a thing.
Can we just go back to Fifth Element?
No, but it's just. No, it acknowledges like the potential for a future in that respect.
She can't reproduce.
No,
so there's no future.
No, there is a future because she's probably gonna learn how to program and make more like her. In that sense, she's going to be the new Eve. She's going to be the mother or the parent to like a new race of beings. That's part of the point.
Which is what leads us to the new Terminator movie.
This looks terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of mad again. It's a beautiful, beautiful day.
Lovely day.
Oh. Fuck you.
Yeah, so the last thing we're going to talk about is Mad Max Fury Road. 70-year-old director George Miller comes back.
And it's awesome!
to his thing and makes a good movie, which people were not expecting.
Oh, I was hoping, like, you and I both, that trailer...
Well, this movie's been in development since 2013.
Yeah,
so it's been a long road for it. There's actually... They had test screenings, like, in 2013 and 2014. And the... What do you call it? Like, the reaction was not overly positive. So, whatever they did, they really buckled down and made a very exciting...
Can I tell you something?
Action-packed... utilitarian economic movie. It's really good.
I grew up on Mad Max movies. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, it's like
I was.
It's the Road Warrior for the modern generation. Like,
and I had told people at where I work, I was like they hadn't seen it yet, and that's what I walked in saying. I was like, the last half of Road Warrior.
Yeah,
it's this whole movie.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? Like, they were all like, oh, I want to see it. My wife won't let me, but I'll see it.
No, it's really good. It's really good.
No, dialogue, visually, like, as I've said before in the podcast, like, I get really quickly bored sometimes. And this whole time, I was just like,
Yeah, because this movie, like, the push of this movie is, like, a setup to be bored. Because you don't think that they're gonna... Like, it is, ostensibly, it's a 2-hour chase scene. And it never does not hold your attention. Like, which is crazy.
No, even when they're broke oh, spoilers.
Oh, whatever. I mean, this is a spoiler podcast. But they always are able to kind of one-up themselves and change the dynamics of the chase based on, like, environmental reasons and geography, and it keeps it going, it keeps it fresh.
No, but not even that, but just, like, even character dynamic changes very, like, subtly, but nicely. It's so good.
See, the beautiful thing about it is it matches the action. So there's a necessity for the action to change, also gives you gives the opportunity for character change, because these characters have to prove something of themselves while in different situations.
Can I post something?
So that's when you learn about them. Like, what is Max willing to do when they're fucking stuck in mud and trying to get out?
It's not Max at that point. Can I tell you something?
Well, that's just an example.
That's
an example, Sarah.
Can I post something?
What?
I know everyone is talking about Furiosa. There's Charlize Theron. Which, actually...
She's fucking amazing.
Actually, fucking awesome. Actually, can I tell you something? Charlize Theron, most of the time, fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's cool. Like, she's
just fucking awesome.
Obviously has the desire to be in, like, cool...
She's grown past apartheid.
No, but she's always had that, like, thing, like, I want to do what's the most interesting project I can do.
And I will do it. Like, in Monster and stuff, you know...
Well, even, like, Prometheus, like, the movie did not turn out...
Can I be fair? I just fallen asleep to Prometheus.
Did not turn out the way it maybe should have. It's not my favorite movie. It's a very flawed movie. It's
not your favorite movie. I fell asleep to it for like a month.
Because I like commentaries. But it's like, it's a very flawed film. But she's... But like, just like wanting to be involved in that, it's like, oh, cool. Interesting director. Interesting story. Interesting writers. Let's fucking do this.
Can I sum it up in a word? She's receptive.
Yeah, sure.
Can I tell you something, though? You know, like, the crux, as much as I fucking love Tom Hardy, I'm like, Nux.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Is it like Holton? Timothy Holton?
It's not Timothy.
Tom Holton?
Yeah. No, he's had like a...
Beast from the X-Men, the modern X-Men films.
He's also in Warm Hearts. No, I mean, that's just terrible, but I feel like he, like, fucking was, like, the...
He's great.
In an odd way, he was a crux as much as a lot of, like, the side characters in Mad Max are supposed to be a crux.
Well, he's supposed to... What he represents is the ability for change. Like, that world can change.
Right! Yeah. Just as much as in, like, Road Warrior or...
I think more directly than anybody in Road Warrior.
No, but can I tell you...
Bad guys are the bad guys in Road Warrior.
No, but can I just... But also, there's always that, like, crux for change in Mad Max. Because Max is there, but he's not... He's the protagonist, but he's always kind of...
Yeah, but what are you talking about, crux for change? Like, what the hell are you talking about?
What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah,
let's talk about it. No, so with Mad Max, in my opinion, Max is there.
Yeah, he's a side character.
No, he's the main character, but he's the side character, yeah?
Yeah. He's not the narrative.
I understand the thing with, like, Furiosa and stuff. She's supposed to be main.
She is the main character.
But the same time, though, I think Nux was the crux. That was the first time.
Nux is the crux in the sense that, like I just said, like, it shows the world and the culture's ability to change.
Just as much as the Feral Kid was. I'm serious. It's weird.
No, you're not totally off base there.
No, because there's always that side being you think about, and he's there. They're there. I don't know much about Thunderdome. Well, I do, but
I mean,
I kind of just block out Thunderdome. But I'm just saying, like, I think Nux is the crux. But, you know what I'm saying, is, like, I understand Furiosa is, like, the strong female character, and everyone's like, that's the zeitgeist of the moment.
No, that's just because
that is the zeitgeist.
Yeah, I know.
The spirit of the moment. But I think it's Nux, because he will, like, ride to Valhalla no matter what, get sprayed in the mouth and ride to Valhalla, see my life again, like that. And he does. He is the only one that does. He sees the end of his life and sees it again, but then rides through and makes a change. So I think Nux might be like the main pivot of that story.
But that's the whole idea, is that like it is this idea.
No, and that's why Mad Max movies are so fun.
Ignorance breeds like culture in
No.
a lot of ways, right? Like, it's because Nux is, if he's representative of his culture, like Nux is showing that like people just follow this just because they don't know any better, and when they're showed a broader context or something more, like, it has the ability to change their opinion.
And that's life.
That's life.
That's life.
I don't think that's in the
just
other
as
Mad Max
much as the
movies.
sea lady that dies. No, I know.
It's not.
It's not. But it should have been.
I think this is a very nuanced movie.
But can I tell you, there's
the
at least 2 more.
Potentially.
No, already signed on for 3
I don't
more.
think George Miller, the director, is gonna have to pass the torch.
To who? Can I tell you someone that I think should? Who do you think?
Who I think should be a director of another Mad Max movie?
Yeah.
I don't know actually.
I think Guillermo del Toro would be very.
No.
No, I do.
Nope.
No.
No fucking way. Way too concerned with lore. Way too concerned with like the universe and explaining it to you.
Michael Bay. That's a joke. That's a fucking joke.
If Michael Bay had like.
If Michael Bay just like,
if somebody wrote a script and gave him that. Gave it to him and said, like,
can I ask
just do this.
Can I ask you something,
then
though?
Yes.
I know he's old, but do you think, like, he's reached his, like...
His peak?
Yeah. And then he's
no,
gonna write...
I think Mad Max... You know what? I'd be happy to be proven wrong. But
No,
Mad Max is the peak of his fucking...
Fury Road.
Mad Max Fury Road is the peak of his ability.
No, but he could...
It's that fucking impressive.
Can I tell you something, though?
You cannot fathom a movie, another Mad Max movie being that, like, good.
Can I tell you, though?
What?
I think you do it one more time. And then pass the torch. No, I think you could.
I don't.
I do.
I think the physical strain of a shoot like that is fucking way too much for him now. Listen, I love George Miller, and like I really respect him as an artist and stuff like that. But if you listen to any interviews he's given or Q&As or anything since then, the guy has super old man syndrome,
and
where he can barely formulate an answer to a question.
Can I ask you something?
And that's just the vagrancies of being old.
Is it the vagrancies of being old, or is it the fact that he can't interact like interpersonally in that sense? Because there are a lot of like people in defense.
Yeah, because there's other people that have like, if you listen to like the director of photography.
I know. Even Tom Hardy was like mad for like a while.
But I'm talking about
frustrated.
I'm talking about hindsight people. People in hindsight giving interviews just talking about the world and like what was created. There's a lot more eloquent people that worked on that movie that like can really express it.
What if you keep that crew? You know what I mean? Like,
Sarah, this movie has been gestating since like 2000. Like, it didn't even have a fucking script. It had storyboards. Like,
I know, and that's why Tom Hardy was like apologizing.
It's a beautiful accident.
Because he's not only a beautiful human, but he had no guidance.
I think Fury Road is a beautiful accident. I don't know if you could fucking recreate that.
So who could do it again? Or at least carry the torch?
Oh, God.
In your opinion.
I seriously have no idea. Like, who could deliver that? Like, something on that scale and that, like, logistic
So why you're
excellence?
saying that someone's only seven in his 70s?
Well, he had a lot of support, Sarah. Like, I mean...
Well, what if they keep his support? Like,
He might not want to. Like, he's in his 70s.
There's a 3-year sign-up.
That was Tom Hardy had to sign up for 4 movies to do the first one.
So who can
I don't think Tom Hardy thought that the first one...
No, he did.
No, he didn't know.
No, he did.
Nobody knew.
No, he knew when it was a thing, though. Because he turned down other things.
No, he knew when... No, he didn't turn down stuff. Not for Mad Max.
He dropped out? Yes, he did.
He did not drop out.
Suicide Squad.
He did not drop out because of Mad Max.
Yes, he did.
No, he dropped out because of the movie he's making with Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
And, what's his name? The guy who did Babel. Yes, because the shoot went longer than it was supposed to. This is very well documented. You can go look it up.
The original thing was he dropped out of suicide. No,
No.
it was.
It was nothing to do with the fucking with the hype cycle.
So who could direct a new Mad Max, Sean? That's my question. You're dodging it.
Actually, you know who I think should direct
Who?
the next one? Mel Gibson. You know who else did something that is equivalent to Mad Max in terms of propulsion and action? It's Mel Gibson, and the movie's called Apocalypto. That movie is a fucking chase.
No.
It's a 2-hour chase. It is exciting the entire way through. There is tons of world building without ever saying anything. Not just because they're speaking a different language.
Can I tell you why I know?
Who?
Can I tell you why I know?
Who do you know?
No, I said why no.
Why do you know?
No, because like he just like was passive about everything
Who?
involved. Mel Gibson.
The fuck are you talking about?
He had a lunch with Tom Hardy and was like, nah. And he's just nah.
No, what are you talking about? He was so super excited. We watched it. He was very excited. I think he was bummed that he did not get to be Mad Max again. I think for sure he was bummed.
Because that's why he should direct it.
I think he took it for granted in like 2003 when it all fell apart. Because he was supposed to do Fury Road in 2003. That's how long this movie's been around.
Oh, I know that.
Actually, this movie's been around. The idea of making a new Mad Max has been around since I was in 6th grade.
So I was in 5th grade. No, but I know.
So, but I'm just looking at filmography.
No,
and,
I know.
I think Mel Gibson would actually serve a Mad Max story pretty well as a director. His sensibilities, I think so. I really do. I'm looking at his filmography when I'm making that claim. His movies, like them or not, like even Passion of the Christ, like, is a very well made, kind of exciting, propulsive story. You've never seen it, so you can't say.
I made it 10 minutes in and I was like,
Yeah,
done.
no, because you didn't watch it. Like, with that, like, taking this very well-worn material and making something that goes beyond, like, the Christian sect getting into it, like, I don't give a shit about the sanctity of the story or whatever. I'm just talking about fucking purely filmmaking. Like, I'm talking about just logistics, like, nuts and bolts, making a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive. Incredibly impressive. Apocalypto. Really underrated movie. Like, super underrated. And that movie is not a huge thing because of his personal life. And that's unfortunate. Because Apocalypto stands with, like, the Raids and the John Wicks and the Dreads. Like, I understand those are very disparate, seemingly disparate things, but if you just boil it down to action and, like, action storytelling, like, they all have similarities. And it's simplicity, and I think he really understands that. I think he really gets that. Honestly, I do think Mel Gibson, I know it's very, like, a quaint idea, but it's... Honestly, like, I do think Mel Gibson could make a badass Mad Max movie. But other than that, like, I don't like any modern directors that, like, could do that. Maybe, like, the directors of John Wick, who are former stuntmen. Like, in terms of, like, making...
Why are you so disconcerting about this man who's in his 70s?
I'm not. I don't think he wants to do it. Sarah, like, that's just the amount of the toll it takes on you as a person to do something like that. It took them 7 months to shoot principal photography, not including going back and doing it again, and then a 2-year post-production process. That's not normal. Not normal. For movies of any size, not normal. Like I said, love to be proved wrong. I would love it if George Miller just was like, I'm going to do it again.
I think he could.
I'm going to fucking go crazy and do it again.
I think he could.
But I think Mad Max Fury Road is like a truly lightning in a bottle situation. Like, I don't know how you top that.
It was really good.
But maybe that's part of the problem, is like the idea that you have to top that. That's a problem.
No, but
I think broad audience, like, perspective is going to be like, oh, fucking Fury Road is amazing. Like, now it's a sequel. It's going to be fucking crazy. We go, what are they going to do now? That's part of the problem. Like, he needs to be free to be able to just tell a story, whether or not it's as propulsive as Fury Road was.
Yeah, but isn't the next two was supposed to be like exposition for 2 movies, so it's gonna be more of like dialogue and search based for like a movie and a half, and then more of like a fight for the second half. That's like what was proposed, or like kind of the vision, right?
Well, no, actually, the first, like,
After Fury Road,
it was supposed to be Furiosa, Mad Max Furiosa, which I think is a bad idea. I think having a movie where Furiosa is your actual main character is a bad idea.
No, I do too.
I think, like, that story has been told.
No, yeah,
I think we need to move on in the James Bond sense of, like, let's have a new adventure.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of set.
Like, it has to be like Mad Max fixing the Interceptor and fucking going about his business.
No, but is Furiosa now she's become kind of like a dictator in the same sense she was fighting against.
You mean when faced with the realities of, that sounds like fucking Star Wars Episode 1. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, but that's my proposition.
That sounds like a lot of people talking, like, the
Not
Trade
saying that's what I
Federation.
would want.
Trade Federation. Oh my god.
That's not saying that's what I want, but is that what maybe the direction they're going in? Is she becomes the new, like, tyrant?
No, I don't think so, because I think that, like, undermines
Well,
the
then
point
that's dumb
made
because
by the movie.
That's dumb. It's Tom Hardy. Like, just let Tom Hardy just be Tom Hardy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let it be James Bondian and, like, just go on another adventure. I'm saying, why do I say James Bondian?
I understand.
Because there are singular stories.
I understand.
It does not have to be connected in a very, like, an overt way.
I know.
I think Mad Max
Was always that way. Even Beyond the Thunderdome was supposed to be Lord of the Flies, the movie. But then, like, fucking... We don't need another hero!
Yeah, Beyond Thunderdome's a misstep.
Fucking terrible.
It's... Well, I think it's, like... It's not the worst or anything like that, but it's not a good... First of all, it's not a good movie.
No, it's not.
Second of all, it's not a good
It was
Mad
supposed
Max
to...
movie.
No, it was supposed to be Lord of the Flies, and then they
I know.
added Mad Max in. They're like...
For the second half, yes. The second
Yeah.
half is Lord of the Flies. The first half is a continuation, basically, of what you would expect. But then it just devolves, kind of. And I don't think it's a natural progression.
And those fucking legs for days.
Because that's the weird thing when you talk about Mad Max as a franchise, is that there is no kind of set, like, way to do it. But I think with Fury Road took up, like, the Road Warrior style in the sense that here's a singular story.
We're set in this dystopia. It is a singular story.
Yes.
We will rock and roll it.
Yeah, and just have fun and tell a story, and Max is there.
Even though it's funny, I do love the first Mad Max. You kind of like...
No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
I am the Night Rider.
I think the first Mad Max is much more of a character movie. Like, you spend a lot of time with Mad Max.
No, and that sets up for the rest. Because, honestly, past that, you don't need to know much about Max.
Well,
Because Max is just... He's fighting for family, fighting for survival.
yes, and then what
And
happens?
then-
And then
no,
at the end of the
and
movie,
that's
he
good.
rides off into the wasteland.
Exactly.
And now he's become legend, and that's what Road Warrior is about. And, that's
and
kind
then
of what
you bring
Beyond
on-
Thunderdome's about. A little bit. I don't think they executed it as well.
No, because it was another script they tagged up Mad Max onto.
Oh, that
Which is the truth.
happens quite a bit, actually.
I know, but I'm just saying.
So is Die Hard with a Vengeance. So, but what do you think about the themes? Do you think the feminist perspective is a valid one? Well, no. For some context, there was a claim that MRAs, men's right activists, really hated this movie.
Okay.
And then...
Can I tell you something?
No, let me tell you something. So somebody wrote something about it, somebody that is MRA inclined, and then every major outlet wrote a story based on everybody's other story, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like this fake uproar that happened, because it was like one dude that had a fucking problem with it. And nobody else gave a fuck. Nobody else would, because that's ridiculous. I do think the movie has feminist overtones to a sense that the fact that these characters are female and they're oppressed, and Furiosa is their savior. So it is very, like, female empowered in that sense.
He's from the land of the mothers that's dried up.
Well, I think that's also a point. Like, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of nuance and subtlety that people don't pay attention to.
Can I just say something?
What?
I don't care about men's rights. I don't care about ladies' rights. People's rights. It's fine.
Well, then you're just a cop-out bullshitter.
No, fuck that.
I'm just
No,
joking. I'm
fuck
joking.
that.
No, I'm
Fuck that.
I'm
Objectively, it's great. That's all I want to say. I'm not going to lean hard into, like, these fucking virginal ladies that were, like, going to be milked eventually into, like, their, like, oblivion, because that's fucking predictable. I know.
and breast milk is sweet.
I don't know how you know.
Literally.
I don't know how you know.
It's like sugar water.
Anyway, what I'm just saying, though, because at the same point, you have strong points on either end.
I agree. No, I think people focus on things that overstate things.
No, and I really get yelled at for that a lot. Because I'm a lady. And yes, I have tits. Like, who cares? That's why I get yelled at for saying these things. But at the same time, like, honestly, there are strong, like, nucks who...
And he has one of the strongest arcs because he goes completely... He pulls a 180.
Rogue, and, like, he actually, like, kind of kills himself for a girl he ends up loving.
Which is problematic.
Yeah,
it's problematic.
That's always dumb.
That's a problem.
No, but you know, so men's rights, women's rights, that's why I get kind of, like, really frustrated is, like, who cares about, like, gender rights? I'm not saying I'm gender neutral. Like, I'm a lady. At the same time, like, who cares? Like, it's a story. Like, people fighting to live.
Well,
people fighting to exist.
I understand that.
Because who cares?
But are you telling me the movie doesn't have those opinions? I'm not talking about yourself. I'm talking about the movie itself. It does have that opinion. It totally does.
Can I be honest?
Fucking they harvest breast milk, Sarah. It's very gender specific.
How is that gender specific?
They harvest breast milk.
Because it's a source of, like, nutrients.
Nutrients. Yes, they're taking everything from everybody.
Just as much water.
But
that they take from males and females.
But importance is put on, like, specific things that are gender specific.
I'm just really dumb to those things.
No, it's just really like they're called breeders. They harvest their breast milk.
Wait, that's what... Never mind. I get really bad conversation right now. The breeders are what, like, queers and the LGBT call straight people.
I know they do. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing. Like,
no, and I'm not saying I'm a
because we live in this world where it's like tit for tat, eye for an eye. Where it's
wait.
Oh, you have fucking gross derogatory terms. Well, now we do. Like, it's stupid.
No,
if you want to call yourself progressive, sooner or later you have to progress.
That's all I'm saying is I just don't think of things in terms like that because I just like to, like, have fun and be a person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think of things in, like, terms of breeders and breast milk, and I think of terms in, like, I guess, like, especially when I'm, like, faced with something like Mad Max, it's like, it's survival, right?
Yeah.
So an innate instinct.
Yeah, but then
to any person, male, female, whatever, an instinct is breast milk.
I know, but you're not. You're talking.
I don't even fucking.
No, you're being way too broad. Like, you need to talk about, like, what is the movie saying specifically? The movie is saying that.
It's saying survive.
Survive, but especially for who? It's not about survival. It's about freedom, which has a cost to it. That's why people die in that movie. That's why I think bad things happen.
Can I say something though?
They're fighting for freedom.
Can I say something though?
Yes.
That's when Max matters.
To an extent, yeah.
Because Max...
He gives them the courage.
Because Max wants his car. And Max just cares about survival.
Up to a point, yes.
No, he does. Because he...
Up to a point.
No, he does.
When he saves Furiosa at the end by giving her the blood transfusion, that's his character's turn. He turned before that, but that's the embodiment of it. Yes.
No.
Oh, for sure.
He would have done that... he would have done that otherwise.
He would have done that for anybody he respected.
Right.
Yes, but
So why does it
Furiosa
matter?
gained his respect.
So why does it matter it's a lady?
It doesn't, in a broader sense.
No, it doesn't. So,
No.
what are we talking about?
No, because a movie can be more than just one thing. Like, it does have things to say about feminine oppression. It does.
Oh my god.
Especially, but you gotta also, people have recontextualized it to the modern sense, being like, wow, it's not too far away from how women are today. It's like, no, this is an example of what would happen in terms of, a barbaric society taking hold because they are stronger, they are more violent, and
That's
they're
what
more
happened
capable, and they're lording over the rest of, humanity in this space. And they are choosing that to represent, a it is a patriarchal thing. But it's fantasy. That's not the actual world we live in. That's absurd.
No,
People do not give the world credit for the progress that it has
so
made.
am I at fault for not even, I even walked into the movie. I'd only seen the trailers walking into the movie when we went and saw it,
Yeah.
right? But I had read things. Is it my, fault for not, taking up automatically for those, vessel virgins?
I don't know. I don't think you have to take up for
Which
it.
actually is,
They're
is it not also back to the, Greek mythology? Is, the fucking virgins in white and...
Well, yeah, it's referencing all that stuff.
Yeah,
Sarah.
who cares?
So what?
I don't care about that. I care about, when I walk into a Mad Max realm, anytime I've seen Mad Max from when I was little to now, it's a survival, story. I don't think of, oh, these ladies, taking it over.
Yeah, but they're trying to survive.
Because honestly, Furiosa's gonna get to the point where she gets sick of it. I know it.
It's not, it's about...
It's a person thing. It's a human thing.
No,
Any human
yes.
gets sick of it.
It's about freedom. It's not about specific terms of enslavement. It's about freedom.
Okay, so why is it gender specific then?
Because the movie made it gender specific.
I don't...
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Good for you.
I think it's fine.
I didn't think of it as that. I thought of the people, because I didn't think of just Furiosa and those Vestal virgins rising up from the thing.
I'm the same way.
No, because it welcomed the people at the bottom that were fucking,
Well, that remains to be seen.
no. But that was promised at the end.
Yeah.
It's even the fucking men and women at the bottom fucking, caked up in dirt.
I know, it's supposed to be an egalitarian message.
Yeah, but then the message of, feminism, it won't be.
No, because they're just going to take that and say that this is a win for us.
Right.
When...
right. That's the point I'm making, is, that's what I think of, especially in a terrain of survival, because that is the Mad Max world. It's a terrain of survival.
Yeah.
And so what that win was supposed to be, yes, I understand those ladies were imprisoned.
No, it's supposed to be for everybody. If it was a feminist movie, they would have gone through the salt desert and found a way to survive. The fact that they go back
and take it back
to claim it for themselves and for everybody that's there.
There's an acceptance of the men that are there, because there's obviously men there.
Because I don't think the movie ever, it does and it doesn't.
No, but do you
Because it
understand
does-
what I'm saying? It's the acceptance of people. It's the acceptance of the survival. It's the acceptance of the survival of the Citadel.
Yeah, but it's constantly
people that are
referencing...
oppressed.
It constantly
The oppressed.
references the masculine nature of that world. It
Well,
totally
then
does.
they're going to be turned away from the water in the next movie.
No, but that's the reality, Sarah.
No,
it
that's
does.
the feminist reality of the next movie, is the men will be turned away from the water.
No, that's extreme. That's third wave feminism. That's extreme
That's
feminism.
half this movie.
No, it's not. You think half this movie is third wave feminism? Are you serious? How can Mad Max be a hero in this movie under the terms of third wave feminism?
Because they just accept him as a...
It's a super broad, happy, hippy-dippy feminism, notion. That's what this movie carries. It does.
No, they manipulate the things they need to get what they want. To survive themselves.
The movie deals with that.
Because I guarantee you, as soon as that jig that rose them up, everything up there will be slaughtered. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yes.
Because they're living in, a type of
Her
barbaric
name's
society.
fucking Furiosa.
No, they're living in a barbaric society and they kill God. And that's why they bring him there.
So then
on
they
the hood of
become
the car.
God, and everything beyond them is
So
not
there's
God.
not going to be necessarily going to be a violent, like, reprisal against them. There isn't.
No, they'll create a circumstance where it will be.
Well, we're talking fan fiction at this point. Like, that's... Yes, if you were going to make a broader message, there are going to be people that oppose you, and people that don't agree with you, blah, 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 blah. And they may be faced with the realities of actually being leaders of a society.
Furiosa, whether she's a lady or not, has opposed, or, like, rose against, like, physical detriment because she has one arm, like, mental detriment because she was, like, taken away from her people, and then all her people are slaughtered in front, the remaining, like, part of her people, for the most part, slaughtered in front of her.
Yeah.
And then she saved these Vestal virgins, so she'll become, like, really, like, stone-hearted, probably. For survival circumstances. Honestly, she will not remain benevolent. She won't.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Because that's her arc, is rising above the selfishness of survival. That's why she goes back. That's why she agrees.
So what's going to happen?
That's her best chance.
Okay, so
first of all.
Sean, what's going to happen?
Survival is always first, but...
So what happens when she rises up into that cave where she controls the water?
Nobody fucking knows because the movie stops.
So I'm asking you what's going on in the next movie. Furiosa.
I don't think it's going to be a direct sequel, and I don't think it should be a direct sequel. If they actually do Furiosa, I think it's going to be... You would have to do with, like, perception and society and how they deal with her. And then if they really wanted to, if you really want to keep going with the idea that she's a concept that she's a woman, and people are going to have a problem following a woman, that's going to be part of it, I would imagine.
These fucking nerds.
Fucking nerds, yo.
Don't even touch a lady.
But it's a great movie, though.
That was awesome.
Like, logistically, it's one of the best movies ever. Like, kind of the best action movies ever. It
was so... I seriously would, like, try and convince you right now to go watch it again in the theater.
It so completely fulfills its own goals. Like, it's crazy. It's really good. Really good.
It's pretty.
And it's beautiful, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to shake your fist at.
Well, visually. Conceptually.
See, I don't have problems with it. Like, I think that stuff is there, but I think I'm just fine with it. Like,
that's also what I just said.
It's not hand-wringing. It's not, like, overbearing. It's just lets it state its own purpose without fucking beating you over the head with a sledgehammer.
Oh, I said the same thing, but I was challenging you because you kept pushing it to the point where I didn't recognize any of that. I honestly, we went and saw the movie. I didn't think it was a feminist piece. Didn't think of anything. I just thought survival.
I just thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, good movie and survival. That's what I think about in any Mad Max realm. Like, that's... Ever since I was little. Like, it's survival movies. You know what I mean? And so when you post me, like, a feminist thing, I just challenge it. So, whatever.
And I guess you listen to, perhaps, maybe, if you made it this far, so you can make your own decision.
8 hours later.
Who made their point better? Yeah, but you should go see Mad Max Fury Road. It's really good. Make it a hit.
It's pretty awesome.
Keep going. Keep going.
Actually, we should go right now.
We should totally go. I just looked at the time to see if we could actually go. Alright. Well, I think that's going to about do it for us. Abrupt ending, but whatever. Our dogs need to go pee. I'm Sean.
I'm Sarah.
And thank you for listening to my Future Husband Facebook episode 24, 25 maybe, I don't know.
28.
27,000. Alright. We will talk to you next time. We got something to talk about. Goodbye.